What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Amelia Talks. Let's talk about it. So this is going to be my part 2 of the Army Pathfinder course. And the reason why I am making a part 2 is because I realized in my last video, when I said I made a 44 as a sign first class, is not because, like, I basically want to give you guys some tips on what I did. And again, you have to realize that I didn't get told about Pathfinder until like maybe a week or two before going. And then I had a 4-day. So, first of all, I want to go ahead and say that I am in ruffs today. I am in SFAB. So every Friday we wear ruffs. It's kind of chilly outside. So that's why I have on my beanie. We also have to meet and do some kind of like formal discussion. So that's why I am dressed the way that I am dressed today. But without further ado, I want to go ahead and jump right into this video. But make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you give me a like and leave any comments that you might. So I got a 44. Sign first class Fullwood. First of all, I did write my name and I talk kind of fast. And so that's another reason why I'm making a part 2, because I don't want you guys to get the wrong impression about Pathfinder, which again, I'm not going to take away from the course being extremely hard. So when I did take my test, my nomenclature test, I did write my first and last name. I did use black ink. There are 25 questions on the test. So at the least, you can only miss 7. If you miss 8, you're basically a fail. You're like a 68. So however many 25 times whatever that'll get you to 100, then that's how they calculate giving you your score. I got a 44. So for like example, I didn't spell pounds wrong. It's not because I didn't put LBS because I thought it was 500 pounds or 5,000 pounds. I just did not know the rated capacity for some of those items. And then again, there are charts that you have to fill in. So what I tried to do is look at the charts and the total, and I tried to remember them or mesmerize them. And if that question popped up on the test, again, you had like 5 to 8 seconds. The question was on the board. You also can use a calculator. So on that question, on some of those questions that had something that I had to calculate, I basically was like, oh my God, I forgot. Is this the number? So like if it was 8,900, I might have thought, okay, it can't be 8,900. It must be like 8,100. So I ended up getting like my math wrong because you have to multiply something, or you have to get another number to get another number. So it's not easy. So again, like I know I'm an E7. I know I probably should have put more effort into it, but I felt like I did because I actually studied over the weekend, which I probably should have studied more. And that's why in my very first video, I said, if you know you're going, make sure you study. I mean, you need to study way in advance, a month, 2 months. And I just didn't get told at the last minute. I mean, I know I said I probably wouldn't go again, but if it was an option for me, I probably would go, only because I want to apply that pressure. I am stretched thin at this moment, working and being in SFAB, because it's not an easy unit. We're constantly training. We're constantly planning for MRXs. We're constantly going to the ranges. We have constant training in SFAB. So you would basically have to be off. You have to be away from your family. And that's why I recommended going to Fort Benning. Also, again, for like one of my battle buddies, we both tested on day 1, retested on day 2. She tested on day 3. She had to test on day 4, and she tested on day 5. So if you test on day 1, you fail, you got to test again on day 2. If you test on day 3, you fail, you got to test again on day 4. If you test again on day 4 and you're exhausted by the time you get to day 5 because it's sling loads, and you get 3 times to test on sling loads. And it's just, like I said in my first video, it's just like extremely hard in regards to like the different types of sling loads, because you know, you're talking about trailers, you're talking about Humvees, you're talking about cargo bags, you're talking about an A22. I forgot, because again, it was like maybe 2 weeks. That's why I said I wanted to go ahead and upload this video before I forgot certain things. But I just wanted to get on here to let you know, like, even in my first video, when I was trying to explain how Pathfinder was, it's not because, like, you really have to know verbatim by the book. I didn't spell suspension wrong. I didn't spell clevis wrong. I might have just forgotten to put suspension clevis. You know what I'm saying? Because you just have to know that is the exact verbiage that you have to put, small suspension clevis. So on day 1, when I was testing, even though they went over everything with us, like, hey, make sure you put LBS for pounds, make sure you spell everything out exactly. Like, when you're taking a test and the picture is up on the screen, you're thinking about, okay, is this what this is? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. You're thinking about the spelling, you're thinking about writing it, you're thinking about if I'm leaving something off, you're thinking about the numbers. Even on the trailers and the Humvees, you have to identify what something is. So, like, you have to identify, this is a hatch, this is a chain. So, you know, it'll say, okay, this is a lock. So when you're locking a Humvee steering wheel, it'll be a picture and you have to identify, is this the chain? Is this the lock? Do you supposed to attach the key to it? It's just like a whole lot of stuff. And it go by so fast. You're finished the test in like 15 minutes, literally, because 5 seconds will go by really quick when it comes to a test that has 25 questions on it. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I am leaving off? You don't do PT, so you just basically show up and go to class. The uniform is the same. I mean, OCP's, if the weather is cold, of course, you can wear your fleece, you can take your top off, you can be comfortable. You get to have snacks in class, so of course you can't eat like a big old meal, but if you want to bring a cup of coffee, a drink, if you want to dip, of course, you know, you can do all those things. I used to dip, y'all, believe it or not. And I quit like maybe 3 months ago because I just was stressed out all the time. So I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't like the smell of smoke. And I used to dip. And my teeth are still looking nice and fine. But the instructors are not bad. It's just like the way that the course is set up, like the course material, that's the thing that throws you off. So I now see why there was not that many videos on Pathfinder, but I hope somebody took this and, you know, can now improve on their studying. They can now focus more. They can understand like how the course is going to be set up. Look, if you have any questions, just make sure you leave them in the comments below. If you want to email me at my personal Outlook email, is amelia.d.fullwood.mil@mail.mil. If you have any questions, just please let me know. Hit me up. Again, I am making a part 2, and I made this part 2 because on the first video I made, I felt like I was just talking too fast, and it was a lot of stuff that was getting thrown out there that I don't think people might have understood. Because when you take the test on day 1, the test on day 1 is not the same test on day 2. They mix everything up completely. They're not going to throw the same image up there. They're not going to show you the exact same numbers based off the chart that you had on Monday. So come Tuesday or Monday night when you know you failed, don't go study the same exact thing that you studied the night before taking the test that you took on day 1, which was on Monday. Because on day 2, everything is completely different. They have like different versions of a test. So why would they give you the same version that they gave you on day 1 on day 2, and it's a retest based off the things that you need to know about nomenclatures? Like, there's so many things that you need to know about nomenclatures that they will not give you the same exact test. And it's the same thing on day 3 and day 4. On day 5, you have 3 chances to do sling loads. And if you don't identify all the deficiencies, if you don't say the deficiencies based off what they're called, the exact name that they're called, like on the cargo bag or on the apex fitting or what have you, you're going to fail. So when you're doing the sling loads, you have to say what the deficiency is verbatim. So if you know that this is a small suspension clevis, when you're doing your sling loads and you're doing the inspection and you're rigging everything up or whatever, you have to put on that form, okay, this small suspension clevis is fits to, like, you just, like, you'll understand when you go through the course, and you'll understand when you're doing sling loads. Like, if you've had somebody that you know that already been through Pathfinder, hit them up, ask them as many questions as you can. If you had somebody that went to the slick course, which is the sling loads something course, I know one of my battles went to it, but he didn't tell me until after I went to the class. If you know somebody that is aerosol, I think I said that, like, hit up everybody that you know for all the knowledge that you can get before going to Pathfinder, because you're going to feel like you wasted your time when you fail within the first day or 2. And you're going to be like, are you fucking serious? And I'm like, look, I told you it was hard. I am not playing when it comes to Pathfinder. So if you think you're going to breeze through because you're smart, even for the officers, like officers, they went to college. Of course, you know, as NCOs, we went to college. We just didn't do the same thing that officers did. Usually officers, they go to college as soon as they graduate high school. It just so happens that we went to college once we joined the military. And they are really, really smart, because you have like lieutenants that's going through Pathfinder. So however they study, study. However they made it through college, they basically, you know, did the same thing with Pathfinder. And then they probably took time off to themselves to study because it was people, you know, that went through, the officers, and, you know, they were passing. So I don't want to go on and on. I don't want to go on a whole rant, and I already feel like I'm yelling. And again, I talk fast. So if you have any questions, just hit me up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and please, please, please give me a thumbs up. Until next time, this is Amelia Talks. Let's talk about it. Peace out.